Guys, welcome to Glass Gaming. I'm Nathan Glass, and I wanted to make another video on my KUANG build. I didn't really get to go into depth the last game or the last video. I was just really trying to test the waters of YouTube, see how it was posting a video. But now that I've gotten used to it, I wanted to go ahead and make a separate video going into my KUANG build. Now, as I said before in my last video, this is a pure power build. I used to go attack speed without KUANG, and I still do in certain occasions, but for me, I prefer this route better. If you disagree, that's fine. There are plenty of players out there who go the attack speed route, and I could definitely vouch that it is a good way to go. I mean, you burst down your enemies really quickly. My only issue was that it really just centered around hitting one target for me. And for me, I like to be able to do a lot more than just focus on one guy, because it makes me feel, I guess, more important in team fights. Now, also with this build, you don't have to worry about really going in there for too many extra hits and putting yourself in danger. You can really just kind of plan your escape, because once you launch your two abilities and maybe tap them once, you'll be good. So I've already got myself maxed out. Now, just for reference, for me, whenever I'm leveling up my abilities, it does take a couple of stacking items, and it's always easier for me in the beginning to kind of play it safe and focus on ads. Not really focus, but that's where I get most of my stacks from. And so for that reason, I max out my 3, or try to at least, or circle. If I see that I'm getting into a lot more fights than I want, then I go a little bit more into my 2 or X. But since I lack that attack speed, I want to just try to go for the burst with circle. So nothing wrong with that. Right afterwards, you can go into your X or 2, whatever you want to call it. And then, you know, of course, just upgrade your ult as much as you can. And so, the first item, one more warning, I'm sorry about this, but you will not have any cooldown. And I think that's okay, considering that this is a one-shot, 1 to 2 shot kind of build. You won't be, you know, you won't be looking to hit them too many times afterwards. So you'll basically be in and out, you know, or on to your next target, because you'll still have dragons left. So first time you want to get is Shoes on the Magi, of course. This is, you know, bread and butter when it comes to boots. You can get Shoes of Focus. You only lack 15 power. It's not a big deal, but you gain 250 mana plus 10 cooldown reduction. It might be honestly worth it. I just save up for Shoes of the Magi just because of that extra 10 magical pin. Next item you want to get is a stacking item, and it's the Book of Thoth. I get this because towards the end of it, max level, and once you get all of your items, you get an extra 169 power, I believe. I'm gonna go ahead and round it up to 170, but I'm pretty sure that's where it's at. It's really close to that. Plus, you never need to worry about mana. That's never becomes an issue with this item. So you want to go ahead and stack that, and I'm not gonna worry about stacking it too much. But let's see. Next item, Polynomicon. This is your bread and butter. I say that numerous times, I guess, but this is a good item for KUANG. It really allows you to burst them down with your next big hit, and that's very important because we're gonna have a lot of power to back that up. So your next hit will be a kill shot if they aren't already dead. So after that, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. If you find that you just need the extra power, or you need some pin, you want to go for the pin. But if you see that you're doing well, you know, and you want to go ahead and get started on your next stacking item, go ahead and get Doom Orb.
The dragon must be feared.
This is a risky item because if you die, then you do lose half your stacks. However, you don't need too much of the stacks to be able to 1 to 2 shot. It doesn't really prevent you from doing that too much. So you don't need it full, but you do want quite a bit of it. Next, I would get, depending on the situation, either get Rod of Tahuti or your pen. For this case, I'm going to go ahead and say Rod of Tahuti. And then here's where it gets tricky. You're going to get one of these 2 items. I usually get Spear of Desolation because of the extra power, and it gives you 20 pen, plus we already have 10 pen from our boots. So altogether that's 30. Base, if no one really has any kind of protection, you could guarantee that they're going to have around what you got, 72, or my bad, 48 magical protection. So if they don't really have any armor that protects them, or magical armor, then what is it? Then Obsidian Shard is not going to be of any use to you. You lose out on a lot of power, and in the end, that 33% is not going to be as much as this 20 flat magical pin. So just to be safe, I usually go ahead and just get Spear of Desolation, seeing as most of the assassins or most of the hunters or mages always go glass cannon anyways, and if they get one magic item or one magic protection item, it's not going to hurt you too much. You'll still be able to get them down. So I'll go ahead and get this. Now let me go ahead and start stacking them while I'm talking to you guys so you can see the full effect. Now, I know I said in my last video that I am not gonna make videos solely about Smite, and I am holding to that. I promise you guys, this is not gonna be a permanent thing. But I will go back to Smite, because it is a game I like to play. So, I'm looking to make a Fallout video in the future. I just want to get into my new house first, because I don't want to have this crappy internet. I'm on Wi-Fi. Because Fallout deserves better. I think I can run it at like a medium, and it'd be okay. But, other than that, it'll still challenge. But when we get there, we'll get there. So, as far as this build goes, you can already kind of see how strong I am. And the reason I kind of wanted this is, yeah, you have the execution, but the execution is so slow, and it's not easy to hit all the time, especially if you don't have that movement speed, and you can't catch up to it, and you're just getting shot. I think that's one thing that the attack speed has going for it, is that you can get, what is it? Here we go. Hasten Fatalis, and that gives you that extra movement speed. Plus, it stops your, it still allows you to move quickly while you're in combat, which is a very important thing as KUANG. But let's see. I think we're getting right there. I'm not full on my book, but I think this is good enough to show you. So, this does require you to have your sword full, or maybe not full, but enough that your dragons at least get the buff. So, we can almost guarantee that you probably are going to turn invisible first to get the jump on them, which isn't a bad thing. So, what you're going to want to do is, this may not 1 to 2 shot them, or this will 2 shot them for sure, unless you're counting the dragons as an extra thing from being procced by the lightning. But in that case, 3 to 4 shot them. So you're gonna go invisible, and then it's just 1 tap. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's not exactly what you're thinking. It's not exactly what you may have thought. you're expecting me to hit them with lightning and they die. Well, you can get to that. I'm still messing around with this build. I'm trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. My biggest question is if Polynomicon procs whenever I just hit it with lightning. It seems as though it does, see, if you notice there at times. But early on in game, I don't see that happening. The cooldown just doesn't happen. So I'm still looking into that. I'm seeing what stacking items I need and don't need, or if I need more pin, if that would help, so I don't have to depend on this potion right here. Now, you don't need to get Elixir of Power. That, of course, you'll one-shot with that. But this one right here that just adds 50, and it's only 450. You can get this early on and late game whenever you're saving up for your pots. But this is all you really need actually to get that. So you can go ahead and pop that, or even if you have a damage buff, actually, that would also help. So all you gotta do is bam, and they're dead, just like that. It's quick, it's effective, and it allows you to stay safe, and it also allows you to keep your 1/square available for an escape. If you're looking to just one-shot the weakest guy, maybe you could have a sprint instead, or even a teleport, have some fun with it, whatever, and just kind of rush at them and then turn invisible. So
Me, my brethren, a mighty sword!
And then use that to get away. I like this build because it allows me to keep that 1/square available if I do want to escape, because like I said, this cooldown is unreal. Like, it's super long. I don't think I have any sort of cooldown on it. No, I don't. But at the same time, it allows you to one-shot, as you can see. Now, I'm still testing around. This is, of course, a dummy. But the thing is, since he is level 20 and he doesn't have any tank gear, that's how it is. And I have tested this out in game. I will make a separate video about it and show y'all me actually one-shotting an actual player with gear, with no armor. And also, if you do get into a situation where they are stacking armor, don't be afraid to get Obsidian Shard. This will still work. I'm not sure if it one-shots. I will test that as well, and I will also make a video. When I make the video about testing it on a regular player with no armor, I'll add that as well, so I can see exactly if you can one-shot with someone with armor. But for the most part, honestly, if they are glass cannons, they're dead. If they aren't, you need to hit. All you gotta do is hit them one time. I mean, that's it. You'll still have 5 dragons left, and all you gotta do is give them one tap, and that's it. And you can have a sanctuary ready and a sprint ready for escape or whatever. Honestly, if you're going into team fights, you won't really need to worry about an escape, because you're gonna have your whole team with you, and also your tank will be pulling, and there's gonna be a lot of stuff going on that they won't just focus on you, or they won't be able to focus on you, and you'll just do so much damage that they'll be caught off guard. They won't really have a chance to do anything, because all you gotta do, walk up, oops, fail. But even so, you can see, only took 3 dragons. Probably would have taken less if I was paying attention, but that's about it, guys. I will make another. I'll upload another video. My next video probably of testing this on an actual player. You know, seeing if it is a true glass cannon 2-shot, 3-shot build. But for the most part, I can tell you guys that this does work on, you know, regular players. Even though this guy doesn't have any items, I don't think any other items really help with his defense or magical protection all that much. So, like I said, it works. You can try for yourselves. Even if it doesn't 1 to 2 shot him, then all it takes is one more hit. So, I like this build. This is the build I run. Mostly if I find that I have teammates that are looking to stack, maybe in something like Joust, and I have one teammate with Transcendence, one teammate with one mage with a book, and he's looking to stack, then that's when I would go the attack speed route, because I don't want to take any adds away from them and just add to the pile. Then none of us would get strong. So you kind of gotta judge the situation appropriately, and like I said, that's where these last three items come in as well. You gotta make sure you get these items in the right order that fits your situation, because you don't want to get this stacking item when they have a little more protection on. You would want to go with this right off the bat, or you don't want to get Rod of Tahuti whenever you really don't have any power to boost it. Of course, Rod of Tahuti would come in handy at any point. So, alright guys, that's about it. Um, Please like and subscribe. Like I said, I'll make another video shortly, so I can show this in an actual match. And my next video after that will probably be a Loki build, going into my Loki. I know there's a lot of people doing that. It won't be an in-depth thing because of that, but I want to at least show you guys what I run, and so you can kind of test it out. But other than that, try it out, guys. It's a great build. It doesn't cost much, and right then. Also, another thing is, especially in team fights, you can almost guarantee that they're not going to have at least a sliver of health. But even so, all it takes is this right here. That's all it takes.
Cunning.
And I
Very
will
cunning.
continue to test this, see if I can get a stronger item. I hate to depend on potions, because I feel like, I feel as though I'm really dependent on it. And I don't like that. I would rather be able to one-shot with just my build alone, not and just having that as bonus. So I'll continue to research, try builds, but for now, this is what I got, and I think it's strong. Also, here, oops, healed. Don't be afraid to throw your dragons. Let's see. Test it out on the fire giant real quick. Now, because you have so much magical power, you'll be able to drain. So, don't really know of any situations that you would need to solo the fire giant, but you never know. Who knows? They might depend on you to do so. And I messed up a couple of times, but as you can see, it doesn't really matter. So you want a sheath. Again, this also depends on you having your sword all the way ready. But I mean, for the most part, I think all out KUANGs make sure that they have that going. But especially with this, I mean, you probably don't even need the potion at this point, just because you have some sort of buff getting you ready. And you can substitute this if you're like in a joust or arena. You can substitute this build or this potion for a damage camp. And I'm about to have 3 things going, and it's going to be unreal, but that's okay, we can have fun. So, as far as where this build works, I don't really know of any places that it won't work. If you're jungling, this is a great build because you'll burst. It takes a little more work It takes a little more work to, build up. It does. But it's not impossible. It is not at all impossible. And also, keep in mind, you don't have to have all these fully stacked. Your biggest weakness is going to be dying, which you want to make sure you don't die, period. But this item, for those of you who don't know, you lose half your stacks on every death, and that's a lot of damage. If you have this thing fully stacked and you die, you lose 50 power right off the bat. So, like I said, once you get to the point where you kind of have a full build. This will fix that problem. This will fix that problem because it brings you back up to 50. So it's not really a big issue, like I said. You can always substitute with potions, and that's what it's all about, really. Not really, but... Alright, that's about it. Like I said, it works everywhere. It just takes a little bit more time to build. You gotta be more careful. Um, and you are able to kill on the way up of working on these items. So, especially if you get these off the bat and get this book stack, so you got mana and power, and you get this, so you get the extra 75% magical power on your next basic. It works. You'll be able to kill, trust me. Plus you have your execution. But this build will allow you to not have to really, or save your execution for someone else. If you got someone that you want to kill, and then you want to turn around, slice up someone over here, and then come over and then ult someone over here, that's 3 right there. And then you can escape. But that's in a picture perfect situation. But, alright guys, thanks for tuning in. I will catch you guys later.